What professions should I choose in TBC? What's up guys, Ame here with another video. This is one of the most difficult questions to answer and one that is getting more difficult by the day as pre-patch is here and people are already gearing up to go through the Dark Portal. On top of this difficult decision, a new profession is now thrown into the works as well, Jewelcrafting. But how good is this new profession, and is it worth it for you to be a Jewelcrafter in TBC? In this one, I hope to highlight the pros and cons of choosing to be a Jewelcrafter, as well as talk about the many interesting items you can craft that aren't gems. And then finally give my opinion on which classes should be a Jewelcrafter in TBC. Let's get into it. A Jewelcrafter's main purpose is to cut gems, which are items that you can put into your gear in TBC to increase your stats, whether it be hit rating, spell power, healing, you name it. On top of that, Jewelcrafters learn a new ability called prospecting, which is the process of breaking down ore into raw gems. Think of it as disenchanting but for Jewelcrafters. While Jewelcrafters' main purpose is to cut gems, they can also craft some pretty interesting items. One of those items is the stone statues that you can create. These little guys, when used, will cast a healing beam on you, healing you for 50 HP for 25 ticks, for a total of 1250 HP. Nothing super crazy, but honestly they won't see much use, but hey, they're there and could save you in a bind if you ever need them to. Okay, one thing that is really weird that I want to address, and is probably the most useless crafted item that I've ever seen, is the heavy iron knuckles. You heard that right, a level 27 fist weapon that is just that, a fist weapon. I have so many questions in regards to this item. First off, why can a Jewelcrafter make fist weapons? Are these some blinged out iron knuckles for gang related use in Cutthroat Alley when someone looks at you the wrong way? Why are they level 27 fist weapons? And why are these the only pair of fist weapons that a Jewelcrafter can make in the whole game? Jewelcrafting has a dedicated section for fist weapons, and the only thing that will ever be in there are these iron knuckles. It's super confusing and just really funny, which is honestly probably the point. Now onto the items that will actually see some use, the accessories, the rings, necklaces, and trinkets, and of course the gems. You can craft 5 trinkets as a Jewelcrafter, and they're honestly pretty hit or miss. On one end of the spectrum, you have completely useless trinkets like the Talisite Owl figurine, which has 14 MP5 and an on-use effect of giving 900 mana on a 5-minute cooldown. I'm fully prepared for that one guy in the comments to be like, actually Ame, this is best in slot when you're doing this one super weird niche thing, but no, this thing is not good. While some of these Jewelcrafting trinkets won't really see any use, there are a few that will. The Living Ruby Serpent figurine, for example, at first glance this trinket looks like a meme, right? Intellect, stamina, and an on-use of giving spell power, but it's actually a solid threat trinket placeholder for prop paladins. 33 stamina is nothing to scoff at. With 150 spell power on use, this trinket actually has some legs to it until you can get some better ones. It's a nice little combo of added tankiness and threat. The single best trinket Jewelcrafters can craft is the Night's Eye Panther figurine. This gives huge amounts of attack power, but the kicker is that it increases your effective stealth level by 1. If you're a rogue and plan on doing any kinds of PvP, this trinket is almost a must-have for rogues in Arena, to help guarantee those openings that are super crucial. The last 2 trinkets that can be crafted are the Dawnstone Crab that gives defense and dodge, nothing special, and the Fell Steel Board that gives base attack power, and you get a super cool boar to fight for you for 30 seconds. Definitely a novelty trinket, but cool nonetheless. Jewelcrafting offers one of the most unique items in the game in the form of necklaces. At launch, Jewelcrafters will be able to create a variety of necklaces that give you your classic stats, but they're actually necklaces that have an on-use effect as well that gives a party-wide buff. The most notable of these necklaces are the Braided Eternium Chain, Eye of the Night, and Chain of the Twilight Owl. These necklaces aren't half bad, and the buffs they give are very solid: 28 crit rating, 34 spell power, or 2% spell crit. Braided Eternium Chain is a perfect necklace to throw on the DPS warriors in your raid. I mean, come on, they aren't bringing much to the table in terms of damage or utility, so losing out on some personal DPS isn't a huge deal, and you might as well get some use out of them, you know? Memes aside, these necklaces are solid, and while they do lower the individual DPS of the person wearing it, it increases the overall DPS of the raid. So if you're a team player, pick one of these up because they're not bind on pickup. Do note that the necklaces only have 10 charges on them, so after you use the buff 10 times, that's it. You'll have to make another one. Luckily, the mats to make them aren't bad at all and should be super cheap to make. Now, a large portion of the best in slot aspects of this profession come later in the game, all the way in the Sunwell Plateau phase, and that is evident with the rings. Many of the jewel crafting rings at launch are very close to being viable gearing options, but miss the mark by being loaded up with stamina. And with resilience playing such a large role in PvP, these rings won't see much use. The only thing that is competitive pre-bis is the Black Pearl, once again for prop paladins. This ring is competitive phase 1 best in slot since it flexes a massive 33 stamina and a respectable 25 spell power, perfect for prop paladins looking to add a nice tanky piece to their threat set. While these early rings sort of have an identity crisis, all of that changes in the Sunwell Plateau patch, and not only for the rings, but for the neck pieces as well. The reason these items are so good is because of the massive amounts of haste on them. Haste is a stat added in TBC that increases attack speed or casting speed, and it isn't really seen on gear until phase 3, but once it comes into the game, you're going to want to get your hands on it. For the jewel crafting rings, we have the Hardcorium Band, Loop of Forged Power, and the Ring of Flowing Life. And for the necklaces, we have the Amulet of Flowing Life, Hardcorium Choker, and Pendant of Sunfire. Now, when I say these items are best in slot, I mean they are best in slot. If you're a healer or DPS dealer, both the neck and the ring will be your endgame bis. There's a couple classes where you can argue for other pieces like Rep Paladins or Enhanced Shamans, but pretty much if you're casting heals or doing damage, these items are your endgame bis. The designs for these items drop off of mobs in Sunwell Plateau, so once acquired, you'll be pumping these items out for everyone. Note that while the rings are bind on equip, the neck pieces are bind on pickup, and because of this, a lot of people will be swapping professions once Sunwell Plateau comes out and praying for the recipe drop. The trinkets are also upgradable come Sunwell Plateau, so you rogue boys can upgrade to the Shadowsong Panther trinket once that's out. Last but not least, the namesake of the profession, crafting gems. If you want to learn more about the basics of jewel crafting, I'll put a link in the description to another video I made talking about them, but what personal benefits do players get for choosing jewel crafting? Jewel crafters are able to craft unique gems that only they can use, such as Kaylee's Rose, Falling Star, Don Julio's Heart, and the Crimson Sun. While these gems are very good, I personally don't think you should choose to be a jewel crafter based off of these gems. While good, you can only use one of them in your gear. So for example, Don Julio's Heart, 14 spell power, super good. But compare that to the spell power gem everyone else will be using, the Ruined Living Ruby with 9 spell power. If you're a caster and choose to go jewel crafting, that's only a +5 spell power bonus, which seems like a hard sell as a factor in choosing this profession. Jewel crafters can also get access to higher level rare raw gems with the Brilliant Glass. If you have 3 of each uncommon uncut gems, you can combine them into a Brilliant Glass, which gives you one of the 6 rare uncut gems, and then later in the game a chance for an epic uncut gem. So now that we have the info, should you be a jewel crafter in TBC? As far as the personal gains from choosing this profession, I would only hard recommend rogues who will be doing a lot of PvP and arenas to go this route for the Night's Eye Panther. Other than that, choose this profession if you just want to be a jewel crafter. If you're looking for professions with personal power benefits, jewel crafting isn't it. While the unique gems are cool, the small bonuses aren't enough for me to fully recommend someone to choose the profession. Now that being said, choosing jewel crafting is a great gold making profession. If monetary gain is what you're after, jewel crafting is a fantastic option. It's low effort, all you have to do is cut gems for a price and you can make a steady income. Being a jewel crafter will not only make you money, but save you money as well, since you'll be able to fund your own gems throughout the expansion and save money on those expensive meta gem cuts. Pair jewel crafting with alchemy so that you can transmute your own meta gems, and you'll have your own little gold making business up and running that is funded just by flipping auction house mats. I personally will have a character doing this, and at the end of the day, I just think jewel crafting is fun. And isn't that the whole point of a video game? Guys, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. It helps my channel grow and allows me to release more content, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you enjoy live streams, I'm live on Twitch throughout the week and will be streaming TBC launch almost 24/7, so catch the link below and come say hi sometime. That's it for me today though, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.